Hello friends, welcome to the Legion Raid Guide series featuring AKKAN. AKKAN is a 3-gate Legion Raid, accessible in normal mode at 1580 eye level and hard mode at 1600 eye level. Defeat AKKAN to receive eyeballs for gear transfer, similar to Roshaza. This raid features troublesome follow-up attacks, making overall uptime very crucial. The guide covers normal patterns, DPS uptime tricks, and supporting strategies in detail, and including differences between difficulties. For those seeking a quick overview, the fourth video in this guide series will provide brief summary, covering the major mechanics in simple terms. I also want to give a special thanks to our friends at Mobalytics, who assisted with the special effects to bring this guide to life. Be sure to check out their written guides in the video's description. Gate 1 Maluk is an undead boss with 150 HP lines. He is tauntable, yellow indicators for grab attacks, and has follow-up attacks if players are hit. Bring Sacred Charms as a requirement, and consider using Fire Bombs, Time Stops, and Panacea as recommended items. Equipping Purify runes on skills is suggested to counter the gate's numerous debuffs. Boss's major mechanics are 140 Green Orb Black Orb, 128 Stagger Check, 112 Stagger Check to Orb Defense, 110 to 90 DPS Time Attack, 75 Spears and Adds, 50 Spin Attack Stagger Check, 21 Egg Form, 20 to 0 Last Phase. The gate begins with the boss's yellow jumping attack, triggering a follow-up attack if someone is hit. At 140 lines, boss jumps to the center with back tentacles, often used for phase change. He will spawn 4 green and 4 black orbs around the map, as shown here. Destroying orbs gives a tumor debuff, essential for surviving future attacks until 20 lines. Each player must destroy 1 at their position. 2 different colored tumor players being close to each other will create a plague debuff, up to 10 stacks. This is cleansable, but avoid getting near each other. The damage over time is percentage based, so it won't kill you, but it can rapidly lower your HP to a minimal amount. Always cleanse first before recovering your HP. You can also destroy multiple orbs, but be careful to not let them explode. Explosions will trigger a map-wide tumor debuff of that color. If you happen to have 2 different tumors at once, you will receive the plague debuff infinitely and not be able to execute future mechanics. After the orbs, 1 or 2 green spears will drop from the sky. Then the boss will come down at a random time to do an explosion attack. You can step on the spear to become petrified, granting immunity to boss's explosion. The ideal timing is when the boss lands, but you can enter the spear at any time due to incoming damage being percentage based. Just remember to heal up after the mechanic. Some suggest using Support's Awakenings to give shield support for the percentage damage, but there's a risk of accidental deaths due to the boss's unpredictable landing timing. It is safer to heal or use Awakening after the mechanic has finished. At 128 lines, Maluk will yell with a dialogue and start gathering energy. Keep an eye on your debuff bar. You will see a green uncleansable icon appear for 2 seconds. This will become a yellow cleansable icon afterwards. In LOSTARK, shining borders are not cleansable, and regular borders are cleansable. If you cleanse the yellow icon, it will turn into a red uncleansable icon. No stagger damage will be sufficient unless your debuff is red. You will need to stagger Maluk on time, or he will emit an explosion wipe attack on hard mode. Save skills at green, cleanse ASAP at yellow, and then stagger at red. Enough people need to be cleansed properly in order for the mechanic to succeed. Beware that Sacred Charm takes away only 1 random debuff, so sometimes it will get rid of the mechanic debuff if you have multiple debuffs on you. If the Sacred Charm method does not work for your party, using Panacea works 100% of the time as long as everyone uses it correctly. Panaceas remove all debuffs upon usage. You can also use Esther Way, and normal mode explosion can be time stopped or Awakening Shield plus Rhapsody Care. At 112 lines, the boss will jump away and spawn 4 orbs, forming a plus shape. In normal mode, there will be only 1. The 1 different color orb indicates where the boss will grab the player afterwards. Players must destroy orbs based on their tumor color to prevent them from exploding. Then at least 1 player intentionally needs to get grabbed for a stagger check. If the wrong tumor color or the double tumor player gets grabbed, it's an immediate wipe. After staggering Maluk, small orb pellets will spawn at the outer ring and move towards the center. Destroy these orbs to prevent Maluk from gaining extra shield stacks in the next phase. Killing the wrong color 3 times will result in instant death, so avoid of using area of effect skills. Classes with homing auto attacks like bards should stand a little closer to ensure proper aiming of their auto attacks. The waves of pellets are spawned at 3 points and will spiral inwards. To efficiently block them, you only need 6 people positioned to block the outside waves. 2 additional players can stay in the center to intercept any missed pellets. They can build their identity meter during this time as well. Using the Nana here allows the players to cleanse the death debuff one by one. This enables everyone to destroy any orbs without the risk of dying. However, it is important to be cautious because if you kill 3 of the wrong colored orbs at once, Inanna may not be able to cleanse you in time, leading you to your death. Keep a close eye on your debuff text to avoid any fatal mistakes. For a fun note, if you happen to have a double tumor player at this time, they can destroy any orbs without any penalty. If you haven't used your Esther yet, this is where you make your first sidereal decision. The next mechanic requires you to push the boss at 90 bars in 1 minute. You have 3 sidereal choices. 1. Use Thyrain after cutscene. This is to have Thyrain to help you push faster to 90 bars during the mechanic. Number 2. Use Inanna before cutscene. The correct timing is when Maluk just gets up. The Esther will carry over to the next phase with the bonus sidereal meter. This helped the fight to be a little easier with Inanna in the field. Number 3. Use Thyrain before cutscene. This is a tight timing to deal damage while receiving a bonus sidereal meter. The exact timing is 25.3 seconds after the stagger has been completed for both Thyrain hits to land on the boss. This method is not recommended to proc parties and it's a fancy concept. So if your party's plan is to get the boss HP close to 90 before the mechanic starts, it is better to use the sidereal right before the mechanic starts at 113 or 114 lines, if you happen to have it ready at the time. By the way, the photo zone is at this spot facing the boss. After the cutscene, the stage will start flooding, and the team's goal is to reduce the boss's HP to 90 before the timer runs out. The rising water will obscure the danger indicators, so it's advisable to stay close to the boss and pay attention to his animations. Make sure to avoid the yellow ring grab attack at all costs. Getting caught in this will disable you from participating in the whole mechanic. When you've successfully pushed, everyone will need to move over to the next map by pressing G to jump over. Upon walking up the ramp to the tower, you will encounter a split path. The person to enter the room will see the answer to the split. Choose the stairs without the debris or the dust, as it leads to the correct path. In normal mode, you can break the debris and pass through safely, but in hard mode, the debris is unbreakable. After the room, continue climbing up the stairs. In this section with the exploding green pools, you should be patient and wait until they finish exploding. You have enough time. When everyone reaches at the top, wait until the water fills up to here, then jump over with the G key. This skips unnecessary patterns from the boss at the next phase. After jumping over, you resume the fight until the end. During this phase, getting hit by any yellow indicators or being pushed from the edge will knock you out of the map. Failure to complete the minigame in time will result in drowning death. The minigame demands spamming the spacebar until reaching the top. If the bar turns purple though, you must cover the top portion with the yellow indicator and push the spacebar to avoid losing progress. Your third falls minigame is impossible unless stacks are cleansed by Inanna. At 75 lines, the boss throws 2 spears upward, jumps, and marks the landing spot with a red circle. Then, 2 green spears will drop at the outer ring and spawning bugs. The large bug moves to the center and explodes, causing a raid wipe. In hard mode, there are 2 of these large bugs spawned opposite to each other. The small bug's attacks cause you to get paralyzed if you get hit 5 times. To prevent the green spear from dropping on your head instantly, you can always stay in the center right after the red indicator. The correct timing to get petrified is 17 seconds after the spear impact, or you can see the gray smoke effect after 14 green waves. At 50 lines, boss jumps and lands in the center, creating an acid ring in the outer area. It will start spinning around with the stagger check. His attacks will also knock players away. During this mechanic, there's a hidden timing involving Sidereal Inanna, which triggers a special interaction. When activated, Esther Inanna grants an additional damage boost and completely disables the boss for at least 25 seconds. Inanna's power cleanses your drown stacks as well. If the party misses the Inanna timing, the boss's attacks follow a scripted pattern: horizontal, vertical, and then diagonal at 5 to 11 o'clock positions. The 7 o'clock position remains safe for 3 attacks. If you guys succeed the stagger, there will always be a counterattack as well. At 21 lines, boss jumps to the center and transforms into an egg, unleashing numerous small bugs and creating small exploding pools. In hard mode, additional large fish pools spawn under everyone's feet a little over every second, dealing significant percentage damage. The objective is to remove the boss's shield in time to prevent it from getting stronger during his evolution. There will be a total of 4 shield DPS checks indicated by an icon. The number of failed shield DPS checks will determine the boss's power level in its final phase. When the bell rings, NPCs help with shields and stunning bugs. Killing these 3 bugs grants bonus damage to shields. Getting hit by them 5 times will paralyze you. For supports, wait until bugs spawn before using Awakening to clear them and provide shield support as well. Stepping in the green mud in the center adds a plague stack every second. At max 10 stacks, an uncleansable damage over time effect will quickly kill you. You must periodically leave the mud and cleanse the plague before returning. Staying in the green mud prevents fish pools from spawning under your feet, so you need to practice moving in and out of the area efficiently. Normal mode is manageable if bugs are quickly cleared out, but hard mode has a high death rate due to fish pools. This is my recommended procedure for survival during this mechanic. Number 1. Kill the bugs quickly. If everyone in the team throws firebombs at their respective positions, bugs get cleaned out real quick. Number 2. Stay inside the green fog until 6 or 7 stacks. Number 3. Leave the green pool right by the edge, and dodge the first fish pool if it happens to spawn. Number 4. As soon as you see the white cleanse text indicating the plague is cleansed, spacebar or walk into the green mud right away. The plague refresh is faster than the fish pool biting you. Repeat the process until the mechanic is over. If you get used to the timings, this is the easiest method to consistently survive this phase. After the cutscene, the final phase begins, where you must bring the boss's HP down to 0. In this phase, 2 additional special patterns can randomly occur every 30 seconds. Pattern 1. The boss will charge and root players around him, followed by a stabbing attack to a random player. The stab attack is a guaranteed death. Use fire grenades to free players quickly. Pattern 2. He will jump away, creating many pools under your feet around the map. Then he will land at a random spot for a counterattack. If you fail to counter, he will throw his spear for a map-wide explosion. Be sure to keep an eye on the minimap to know where his position is for the counter. Now let's talk about normal patterns. You can skip this section entirely, but I think it's essential to take close notes on the first few as they aid smoother progression. They're ranked from most important to least important. Most of Maluk's patterns are back safe and they're very slow, but getting hit results in severe punishment. The boss may also apply a defense reduction debuff, leading to an instant death without warning. Yellow ring grab. The boss will crouch and smash the ground with tentacles. Avoid getting hit by the yellow indicator, as it will result in being grabbed and disabled for an extended period of time. Avoid it at all costs. When the boss is staggered from the internal meter, he will always perform this pattern. If you happen to DPS and hear the stagger sound, stay close to him to be prepared. Don't touch the grass. The boss will crouch and smash the ground with tentacles. Memorize this pre-animation to avoid triggering the follow-up attack. If follow-up attack is activated, a large red circle explosion will knock everyone out of the stage. For head attack classes like Red Gun Lancer and Destroyer, my tip is to not be afraid and stay as close as you can. If so, most critical patterns like the grass pattern can be avoided very easily by one spacebar sideways. Jump attack. The boss will leap high and slam the ground, followed by a long stab attack or another smash. This inflicts significant damage and creates numerous pools under your feet. The second stab attack can be cancelled by taunting the boss. Triple stab grab. The boss charges up his spear and starts stabbing, showing a long yellow indicator to an aggro player. This sequence happens 3 times unless the player gets stabbed. It's essential for the aggro player to manage the attacks to avoid rotating the boss's head too much. Single stab to backslash. This is a variation of the triple stab grab. If the boss stabs only once, he will follow with a backslash to hit players attacking from the back. Stomp grab. The boss will stomp the ground and stab with his spear. If you get grabbed, the boss will vomit on you, knocking you very far away. If no one is grabbed, he will stab backwards to hit players attacking from behind. Experienced Gun Lancer players sometimes get hit on purpose in this pattern to force a vomit pattern, as combat readiness won't launch them away. 2 standing counter variations. The boss will repeatedly smash the ground, and after finishing, he will always counter. If you get hit by the last 3 attacks, it will change this pattern to a regular outside safe, inside safe ground smash. Gun Lancers can taunt this last hit to prevent the smash. Generally, when you see the boss smashing the ground, it's best to position yourself at his back to prepare for the counterattack. In the second variation, the boss performs a slower smashes and crosses his spears to execute a counterable 270 slash attack. If you get hit by a second or third hits, he will proceed to smash 3 more times with a large AoE. This can also be cancelled by taunting. Jump hopping to counter. The boss will hop around the map, and upon landing, he will perform a counterable attack. This attack can be cancelled entirely by taunting, but make sure to use your taunt when he's on the ground. Ground smash to brandish of tentacles. The boss will slash the ground with the red indicator. If someone's hit by the initial red indicator, he will lift them up and unleash a quick brandish of tentacles, juggling players in the air. You can get hit by this on purpose to extend the animation, using super armor to not get juggled too. Slow charge. The boss will run with his spears in front. He will move very slowly. If no one gets hit, he's going to do the backslash at the end, but anyone caught by this will be grabbed. When he finishes running, he will pin everyone who is grabbed on the ground and use his tentacles to attack them. Some people get grabbed on purpose to extend the animation. Borpa spin. The boss will slam his spear sideways and spin around inside safe. He will slowly move and change direction once. If you get knocked out, remain calm and use your spacebar to get back in quickly. With that being said, this concludes the Gate 1 of AKKAN Legion Raid. AKKAN Legion Raid prioritizes battle over complex mechanics. Mastering normal patterns and maintaining general uptime are very crucial for successful clear. Study the attack animations to avoid getting hit and triggering vicious follow-up attacks. As always, thanks everyone, bye bye!